I get it. You're expecting me to say the movie title Nope, followed by a yup or nope. So we're not going to stoop that low just yet, but I've got something to show you. We got a new dog. This is Minnie. She's 4 years old. She's the cutest thing I've ever seen. A Boston French Bulldog.
Say hello.
Oh boy. He's jealous.
You got a new baby sister, pal.
What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Jordan Peele is back with his third film, and today we are talking Nope, starring a lot of incredible people. This is one I was really excited for. I need you in the comments down below. What is the best Jordan Peele movie so far? So the residents of a lonely gulch in inland California bear witness to an uncanny and chilling discovery. This film is, of course, rated R for language throughout and some bloody, violent images. Not one for the kids, especially if you find certain sci-fi movies scary. But Jordan Peele, obviously, he doesn't just focus on sci-fi. We know him for his horror. Occasionally, you can get a beautiful marriage between the two. But the question we ask ourselves with this film is it a marriage worth watching in Nope? Let's start with, I think, the best part of this film, and that is the characters. Daniel Kaluuya plays OJ, Keke Palmer plays Emerald, a brother-sister duo that's having to take the business that they are a part of and move it forward into the future, figure out how to get more gigs, realize that maybe at times they're stooping a bit too low and selling themselves short, knowing that they've been in the business for a long time and they deserve to be successful. That's a very important theme with this film, is they're going to do what it takes to get that money, and I respect that, I appreciate that, and I thought genuinely both performances were incredible. Kaluuya, always, it feels like every time I see him playing a vastly different character than he did before. In this film, he's extremely reserved, a very hesitant human being, but just like his sister, he's not afraid to take risks, take chances, and make that extremely drastic and somewhat terrifying decision. His sister, Keke Palmer, is just full of enthusiasm. She has life charisma. The first time you see the two on screen, you automatically know what type of person they are. She is not afraid to say anything and everything she needs to sell herself and her business. So obviously, those are our two main characters. Yeun, another character actor, I was really excited to see what role he was going to play in this film. And when you think about it, when the movie's over, you look back and you say, that was a massive part of the story. It is the part of the story that I think is going to leave the most people dry, wanting more. I didn't get enough from that. How does it tie in together at the end of the day? Because you get a lot of his backstory that maybe doesn't fully come in and create one cohesive film, but I did find that side of the story interesting, and thematically, there's a lot going on there that ties into the rest of the film. The other actors include Brandon Perea, Keith David, Michael Wincott, who leaves his mark on this film absolutely. The entire cast is amazing, but maybe even more interesting than the characters are the visuals. Hoyt van Hoytema, the cinematographer, one of my absolute favorites in the game. I didn't know he was shooting this movie, but as we were going, I'm like, this feels like someone I know. I look back and I say, oh my God, that's exactly who that was. The best part of this experience, seeing it in a big Dolby IMAX theater, you have the amazing sound design. I mean, from top to bottom, the sound, incredible. The score, phenomenal. You know these things are going to be good in a Jordan Peele movie, but we're talking visually, right? The perspective shots of our characters looking up and seeing something in the sky. Oftentimes we'll have a camera going all the way up with this object and capturing it from this perspective. Well, in this movie, we are in the heads of our characters. What they see, we see. So when they're looking up, seeing something creepy moving through the sky, we get that perspective and nothing else. And you're talking decision-making in a big blockbuster film, and that's what it is at its core, right? It's a Jordan Peele movie, but it's by far the biggest movie he's ever done. That's one of the best decisions I've seen made in a movie like this in so long, because not only did it add to the creepiness and just the unnerving factor of what the film is going for, but it takes the sci-fi genre, adds a horror spin to it, which is what Jordan Peele is known for. It's also a bit of a Western, right? We're taking place in a very Western type setting, and that may not necessarily make it a Western, but the themes that it's exploring, but also elements of the second and third act are pure Western at its core. I'm not saying like full-on silly cowboys versus aliens Western. You're not going to get that in a Jordan Peele movie. But what you are going to get is a beautiful marriage between humor and this epic look and feel, this style that no other director has been able to capture in quite a long time. But also an extremely distinct and original plot, one that not always flows as it intends to, and all of the ideas present in this movie, I'm not sure if everyone's going to be able to piece them together because I'm not entirely sure myself if they all fit and flow. Austin, what do you mean? Like I said, thematically, there's a lot going on here. You have that somewhat epic introduction, and then we kind of settle down with our main two characters, but then we introduce Steven Yeun's Ricky Park. Now, there is a storyline with Ricky Park that is constantly cut back to and explored. The way that this movie flows, it focuses on certain main ideas that do flow, and I found them interesting in the way they were handled, but Ricky's storyline for me is what wasn't entirely speaking to me as it was going. It's an interesting storyline, but it almost feels like it belongs in a different film. Now, thematically, you're thinking back to what it meant in its entirety, and I started to merge the two together because there's one idea, actually one line, mentioned in the film, and I can't talk about it here because it's a spoiler, but I went back to that and I said, oh, that's how they tie in together. I still don't know if the ideas feel as if they should have been in the same film, but there's one thing linking them together, and I somewhat see what Jordan Peele was going for. The execution, you have to fully merge those things in the third act, and I just don't know. That's my biggest flaw with the film. I don't know if they came together, because if they would have, then this is easily one of the best movies of the year and in the conversation for top-tier Jordan Peele. Unfortunately, my biggest flaw with the movie was bringing those two ideas together and making it one cohesive experience. That being said, this movie still manages to be bold. Jordan Peele's biggest movie so far, absolutely. The third act is pure sci-fi horror blockbuster. The other two acts have themes and humor woven in. I thought the humor worked extremely well. It's much more subtle, maybe, than something like Get Out, but when I compare the complexity of the story, I'm definitely leaning more towards Us, which will inevitably divide certain audience members because that criticism does hurt the pacing, but making the comparison to a Steven Spielberg, something like a Close Encounters meets Jaws, Austin, how is that the case with this film? You're going to have to wait and see. Before I give you my score, make sure you are subscribed. We're going to rank the Jordan Peele movies later this week and the Russo brothers films. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to drop a thumbs up for Minnie. She's the cutest thing. Nope is Jordan Peele's biggest outing yet. The third act is a massive sci-fi spectacle that is undoubtedly built for the big screen. Hoytema's cinematography is so unique, and certain visuals will shake you to your core. It is juggling a lot, maybe too much at times, but the experience is worth it. This is absolutely a movie that I need to see again to make sure certain things do or do not fit together. As of now, my score is an 84%. I thoroughly enjoyed this experience. And the thing is, it's original, it's creative. Even if everything doesn't come together, I can't say I've seen a movie like this in quite some time. And I appreciate that. I appreciate walking out of a movie and trying to think back and piece everything together and make sense of it all. That's awesome. I would much rather have something like that than something I walk out of and say, well, I'm never going to think about that again. Nah, I don't like that. All right, guys, you're the best. I'll see you soon.